SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on this show are not the opinions of TeleSouth Communications, its management, or advertisers.
William Carey University Athletics.
Every sport you find exciting.
Crusader Talk. Crusader Talk.
And now,
This is Crusader Talk. Crusader Talk. We're covering everything William Carey University Athletics. From the field to the court and the diamond on SuperTalk Hattiesburg 97.3 and SuperTalkHattiesburg.com.
That's right. This is Crusader Talk, the only podcast where you can't just use ChatGPT to fill your entire content. Because we have to be live in person and highly connected to these here parts of athletics. So we're going to tell you everything we know, as little as it may be, about William Carey Athletics. Just kidding. Hey, Caleb Hamill, Josh West, Dalton Stanford behind the board. I already don't know where I'm going with that intro for the start of the pod. But hey, we made it. We finally made it. We're in the thick of August. We have actual regular season contests that have been completed. And hey, a pretty good weekend on the road for volleyball to start off the 2026 campaign. Coach Ronda Shirley is going to join us later on in the program to talk about it. But Josh, 3-1, not too shabby.
Not too shabby. Not only did we get multiple wins, we already have an SSAC Player of the Week.
Of course we do.
I mean, things just it's we like normalcy around here.
That's right. Did you get a chance to watch some of that?
I did. Was yours lagging?
A little bit.
Mine had a lot of
just
lag.
a little bit.
Yeah, but no, I was very encouraged by what I saw. And did you notice the new threads? Did you notice?
Look pretty good.
Yeah, new unis for the volleyball team, looking really good. There's a whole story behind that, as Coach Shirley will join us in the second segment. And then in the third segment, finally, we get to talk a little track and field.
That's right. We have somebody we can talk to now.
Yes,
which is very
Coach
nice.
Brinson's going to join us to talk some track and field. We've got some preseason polls out, more preseason polls out in the SSAC. We'll be looking at those. And William Carey, a top one in the top five of the other in cross country. So we'll glance at those as well. And yeah, no, it is here, and it caught me off guard. Everything in my brain was high school football for you, and you said, Josh, I've got games on Thursday and Saturday, and I went, what high school football do you have Saturday?
It's like MAIS is kicking into gear.
Right, and I went, never mind. You've got soccer.
The other football.
The other football. So you've got, I don't know why it sounded like Dracula, but
we'll work on you. You have some other good accents.
You've got soccer this weekend. So that will be fun. And you know, the ladies are still trying to get – we talked about this last week. They're trying to get all their players in. But then we saw some really encouraging things from the guys. So you're going to have a lot of fun, in particular with Coach Barry and the boys this year.
The lads, the boys, going to be a lot of fun. So just kind of going through the results so far from last weekend in volleyball. 4-game stint over in Sarasota, Florida. First match of the year went 5 sets, and William Carey edges out Bethel out of Indiana, 3-2. Swept Florida Memorial. Good job there for coach and staff and the girls. Warner University, Carey only slipped up on one of those sets and won 3-1. Then they ran into New College of Florida, took the first set, and then just could not finish the rest of the way. But they're actually going to get a chance at New College of Florida again. Wouldn't you know it? The very next match, as they travel to Marietta, Georgia, New College of Florida is going to follow them over there, as it'll be Carey taking on New College of Florida, Florida College, not to be confusing at all there, Weber International, and then Point University, all going to take place over there in what is called the Carlos Soler La Tribu Invitational.
You know, I was almost wondering there for a second, were they running out of names to name the colleges in Florida? But
Florida College, New College of Florida.
How about the mascot for New College of Florida?
Oh,
the mighty Banyans.
Do what now?
The Banyans.
The Banyans.
Right? The tree. You see the tree? The flexing tree? I'm saying that right. It's the Banyans. You'll go to the website.
Yeah, the Mighty Banyans.
The Mighty Banyans.
I just heard Caleb typing, and he and I are both looking this up at the same time, trying to figure out what this is.
I need to know the history of a banyan tree, period.
Well, I don't know, but according to this, that has not been their nickname for very long.
Okay.
Only since 2023. For decades, the student body's unofficial mascot and representation was the null set, symbolized by empty brackets. How about that for a math nerd type thing? If you ever have open and closed brackets with nothing in between, it's like a matrix that has no data, so also known as a null set.
Caleb,
I don't know what the history is of why New College of Florida had that nickname, but they did.
Caleb, I produce radio because I don't understand math right now. Okay.
So I was told there would be no math involved.
I told there would be no math involved.
So they go from the null set to the mighty banyan, and this is a basically banyan tree that is in the image of Arnold Schwarzenegger flexing, coming out of ooze, coming out of the swamp somewhere in Florida. I don't know any better way to describe that, but it's not even that. It's the roots connect to the tree. Is that what it is? Is that why what looks like
it looks
oozing?
like some big swampy tree. I'm looking it up right now, so see it.
Yeah, so I mean, this is whoever designed this mascot. You know, it's a pretty accurate cartoonish representation of a banyan tree.
Well, evidently one single banyan tree, we're really diving deep here. One single banyan tree can grow wide enough to cover multiple city blocks or acres of land. It's one of those things where the roots just spread in a massive way to create one conglomerate of a tree.
It's like bamboo. You know, you have to be careful when you plant bamboo; it'll spread.
Getting down to the NAI, the depths of NAI mascots.
Yeah,
on a Crusader Talk.
I wonder if New College of Florida, if they had a football team, would they run a spread offense?
Oh, very well.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know.
Well, but to get the do-over, to get the mulligan, if you will, 10 a.m., Marietta, Georgia, on Friday. And I've already got to speak with Ronda earlier today, so she'll have a lot to say about that. But needless to say, she's been watching a lot of film. They are very excited about being able to make some tweaks and adjustments. And I also want to ask her, I didn't ask her earlier, I just want to ask if a little bit of fatigue for some of the regulars, maybe fourth match in 2 days, if that could have, played a factor. But, interestingly enough, some of the newcomers, in particular Emily Martin, who was the setter of the week in the SSAC, played really, really well. So you have some players that are coming in and they are pushing those returning players. So that's also something that Ronda will touch on.
That's always been an interesting award to me, setter of the week, because that to me just means you made the least mistakes. Because it's not somebody that gets a lot of the glory. It's all about the assists that you make in the middle of the field. Maybe some digs you get here or there, but overall it's your consistency and ability to set up people for kills. And for the SSAC to have the eye to see that she was the top dog in the week in that department is impressive.
And listen to her stats, though. 8 blocks, 18 kills as a setter, and 33 digs. So she was extremely active in addition to, I want to say, if I'm looking at first day stats right, and you can fact check me on this very quickly here, I want to say she had something like 53 assists on day one. And that might, I don't want to shorter. I don't think it's in one match, but I think it might have been 53 on day one. How many did she have for the 4? It was a ton.
Yeah. I tell you what, statting volleyball is not one of my strong suits. And in fact, it's hard to do because we can never do it in real time, at least not with our personnel at Carey. Because what it takes is people paper statting them on sheets, and then as soon as you fill up a sheet, you toss it back to the person at the computer to catch up. And I'll go ahead and tell you, even the fastest of typers will still have a couple sheets at the end once things are over trying to catch up.
Sure.
Usually you're behind by an entire set,
yes,
to be honest.
Yeah, so you're kind of, midway of a set going back and recapping some of the stats of the previous set. But funny story about the speed and how much fun volleyball is. Elijah is going to be coming in, my son, is going to be coming in and working a couple of matches on Fridays this year because we'll be pulled in so many different directions with football in the fall. And so it's just, I had to remind him that it was going to be very much like basketball. And so I took him to the scrimmage, and he instantly was like nodding his head and smiling like, oh, yeah. No, I got this. I like this. This is going to be good.
It's honestly one of my favorite to just enjoy, to consume as a spectator, not just a broadcaster, because it's fast-paced. You're never going to say everybody's name that touches the ball unless you just have really good recall. But even so, that would be a little bit of overkill when it comes to behind the mic. But it is still a high, energetic sport with lots of scoring, and so it's going to be fun for him. Hey, also, this week, you mentioned soccer, not just men, but also women. They're just going to be on the road. So because we're probably going to run out of time later on, I'm just going to go ahead and drop it out there. Women's soccer gets their season started August 20th. That's this Thursday in Shreveport at 11 a.m. Let's take a little lunch break early. Tune in and watch that one. Yeah, do not envy them playing out there. Men took the wiser route, not only playing at home, but playing at 7:30 at night. So, hey, we can all cool off together over on William Carey's campus for a little bit of men's soccer as they take on Texas Wesleyan at Danny Owens Field. So, coming up, it's Coach Ronda Shirley from volleyball. Going to talk about this past weekend and look ahead at what's to come in Marietta, Georgia. That more coming up as you listen to Crusader Talk.
You're listening to Crusader Talk on SuperTalk Hattiesburg 97.3 and SuperTalkHattiesburg.com.
Rolling right along here on today's edition of Crusader Talk. Glad you're with us as we recap a little bit of volleyball action here in the second segment, as we are pleased to be joined by head coach Ronda Shirley on the phone. Coach, I'm just going to have this extend from our previous segment to now. Did you have any idea what a banyan tree was prior to playing New College of Florida, or did that even cross your mind looking across the netting at your opponent?
No, I wasn't.
You had bigger fish to fry.
I had no idea, and when I saw it, I just thought it was a cool name for their tournament, not knowing that was their mascot. So, but now I know.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a Arnold Schwarzenegger that's like built out a big old piece of broccoli. We're trying to describe it, but
yes, I can see that. 100%. You nailed it right there.
Well, unfortunately for Carey, that was the one loss on the weekend. But hey, hats off to your team and their efforts on the weekend to go 3-1 in that classic. And hey, you get another chance at New College of Florida coming up in Marietta. Walk us through just the excitement through the first three matches to start off so strong on the year.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great weekend. And, preseason isn't always about your record. It's about us trying to fit the puzzle pieces together and finding, kind of putting together a solid lineup before conference starts. But I was super pleased. I mean, we had great energy. I got to put a lot of different lineups in and still come out being, 3-1. And, yes, we get another shot at New College of Florida. But, I mean, I will say, very well coached. They are a lot of talent there, but I think we stack up well. And so I think this next time around, it's just being ready for the challenge ahead of us.
Coach, you mentioned that you got to play a lot of different lineups, and some of that was out of necessity in the sense you mentioned in particular in your lone loss on the week that some of the returners struggled. Some of the newcomers did very well, and you're still trying to fully zero in on those rotations in that lineup.
Yes, that's correct. I mean, we have a large, roster this year, which, was purposeful, and it gives us a lot more depth because last year after the injuries, I realized our depth wasn't as good, but not only do we have great depth, but we have strength and depth. So at this point, it's not about the skill level. Like, we have a great skill level. It's for me as a coach to find the right pieces to go together with chemistry and, so just dabbling with that a little bit. And this is the time to dabble with that in preseason, and if we have to, maybe take a loss. But it wasn't for the lack of fight, I think, for my team. It was just, trying to find the pieces that are going to fit.
One good thing, one really bright spot of terms of players back from injury was, let me get this right because she's going to be so happy by me getting this. Evelyn Araujo is how you say that. Araujo, the senior out of Brazil, was back and at times was brilliant. She had her moments where she struggled, but she's just kind of getting back into the swing of things. Talk about what she means to this team and then the other returners that are back from injury and having that whole group back.
Yeah, I mean, Evelyn, I'm just so smiling from ear to ear to see her out there. I mean, this is her third year here, and the last 2 years she's been sidelined because of injuries. And to see her go out there and have some amazing success is great. And I knew it would be up and down for her because I think still at times she's a little leery of, the last 2 years it was early in preseason where she got injured. So I think that's a little bit in the back of her mind. But just to see her be a rock star with some of the digs and some of the things she did against New College of Florida, I know it's there, and I trust her, and I'm willing to go through the ups and downs with her because there's not too many people that can sit on the sidelines after injuries for 2 years and come out opening weekend and do what she's done. Also, Alicia on the right side, same thing. She went down middle of the season and then tore ligaments in her ankle, and I mean, she was very strong for us on the right side. So, trying to get those strong pieces that we had last year back into the lineup, plus the strong pieces of the new players coming in, it is how can I say it? It's a great thing for me to have to worry about and a stress for me to have that of all these great pieces and how am I going to put them together. That's the part of coaching I love. And, I think there's just great things in our future for sure.
I know it's the time of year where we can easily make, broad stroke predictions based off just the first weekend of the year. But I wanted to get at least your hot take on, of all the different position groups or personnel groups that you have, what gives you the most confidence looking forward to the remainder of this season?
I mean, that's a hard one. I mean, I feel like we're strong in all positions, but I think definitely setting. I mean, we had a freshman setter make setter of the week for the SSAC, and so I feel obviously very confident with that. Evelyn with some new kids in the libero position. I mean, I don't know. I feel very confident with not only the talent in all the positions, but the depth. But I would say probably setting at this point in time and our libero position are probably the strongest as far as coming in and being, I don't want to say well-rounded, but just ready to light that fire. And that's what we need. I think in the other positions, it's more of a fine-tuning of what's going to fit with the setting staff we have, because that's all about timing, and so there are great pieces there, but it's probably more going to be fitting in with what are we going to do from a setting standpoint. Are we going to run a 5-1, a 6-2, and who's going to be out there, because the timing of that puts a lot of factor on our attackers.
You kind of alluded to her as SSAC Setter of the Week, but Emily Martin, already a good weekend under her belt. What's special about her in the ways that she, in just the first regard, got to campus at William Carey, and how have you seen her grow here in just a freshman campaign?
I mean, first of all, I will say she doesn't play like a freshman, which is a plus. But, I mean, she's so dynamic. I mean, she understands the game. She sets a fast tempo, which is what we need for our offense. If she's running a 5-1, she is great in the front row. Like, she's hard to handle from a second contact standpoint. She's a lefty setter, so she'll just, instead of setting the ball, she's going to go up and hit it. She'll place it in the corner. But if we're running a 6-2, we keep her in the front row, and she's a right side attacker. Excellent blocker. she probably had a couple double-doubles, if not a couple triple-doubles this weekend from doubles and assists, digs, attacks. I mean, she's just very calm about what she does. So, I mean, she was a player to watch for the SSAC from our school, and I don't think that they didn't miss the mark on that one, because she is, and I'm just excited about what she's going to continue to bring. But I think her maturity level and her consistency, but her overline she's just very calm, and I think that brings a level of success to us.
Coach Shirley, we've got about 90 seconds left, and when we look at where William Carey was preseason picked in the Southern States Athletic Conference poll, Loyola 1, Mobile 2, William Carey 3, Blue Mountain 4. There's Xavier at 5, and then Tennessee Southern, but very top-heavy in terms of teams gathering most of the points in Loyola, Mobile, and William Carey. What's kind of, here in this final minute, what's kind of the buzz around the league entering this season?
I mean, I think our conference is so strong. I mean, I think every school's up their level, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to come back from, just students of the game, relying on your experience, and then who's just really hungry for what they're going to do. I'm so excited for the SSAC, even from when I've just come in here. The growth that there has been tremendous, and I absolutely love being in a conference that is top-heavy with success, and see where we fall. And I think we're at a good spot, and I think that we can, show the conference what we're made of, and I just think there's a lot of other schools out there that are going to do the same, and I just think it's going to be very exciting this season for the SSAC.
Coach, we're right there excited with you about what's to come for William Carey, especially come conference time. You've got miles to go before you sleep, though, with a couple more classics to go. Marietta, Georgia, coming up on this weekend as you take on 4 teams there, followed by the Faulkner Invitational. A couple of teams you get to play twice. I'm just now realizing. Not only New College of Florida, but you also will get Weber International 2 times before the conference play begins. And, hey, right out of the gate, once you get done with those classics, you're back at Ben Waddle Sports Facility hosting Mobile for the first conference game of the year on September the 12th. We look forward to visiting with you again sometime soon, Coach Shirley, and best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, that is Coach Ronda Shirley of volleyball joining us here on Crusader Talk. If you want to be a part of anything related to volleyball, hey, go ahead and check out that schedule. Get the dates put in your calendar now, because you do not want to miss out on the top-tier talent that is just absolutely teeming here at William Carey. All right, coming up next, new track and field coach for William Carey University, Coach Brinson, joins us. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to Crusader Talk on SuperTalk Hattiesburg 97.3 and SuperTalkHattiesburg.com.
All right, continuing on here on Crusader Talk. Lots to get to. I know we're already halfway home here on a Monday. Good conversation with Coach Ronda Shirley from volleyball, by the way. If you're joining us live and you missed that one, just catch us on demand. Search for Crusader Talk in your favorite podcast feed. You'll find it there. Find out what a banyan tree looks like, and then find out more about how William Carey played in the banyan tree, whatever it was, classic down in Sarasota, Florida.
If you're still late to the volleyball bandwagon, if you will, then if you can have just love at first sight in terms of falling in love with the energy of a team and a program, go watch William Carey Volleyball. It is a special group of young people that love the sport, love each other, love their coaches, love the university. They play so hard. I cannot oversell what they are. And you're getting to call a couple of matches here this fall, and I know you're excited about that because you were doing that before we made the switch a couple of years ago. But, I mean, that is a fun group.
That's true. Hey, and you don't have to just put all your love and affection into volleyball. You can go just down the hill.
Just down the hill.
To where William Carey Track and Field will be residing as they're under new direction under head coach Jonina Brinson, and she's joining us on the phone today as well. Coach, it's been a while since your announcement as the new head person at William Carey in this department, but we're glad to have you on finally to get to talk to you and introduce you to the public.
Yes, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be joining the Carey family. It's amazing.
Well, Coach Brinson, I'm Caleb. Josh is my co-host over here. We couldn't be more thrilled to have you as part of the William Carey family. And it's kind of an interesting history to see how these different coaches that we've seen enter into William Carey's family, where they come from, and to see that you came from a certain other NAIA school a little bit down the road from us to Hattiesburg it's quite a shocker to some that know the history of rivals. But you came from Mobile and were quite the athlete in the NAIA in your time with the Rams. But we're happy that you're going to bring some of that success here home to Hattiesburg.
Yes, I'm excited. One thing I was seeing was just that I was grateful and blessed to have my individual championships, but there's nothing like a team championship, and there's nothing like a national one. And so I've seen William Carey have that in their history, and hopefully in their present as well, because we want to continue that success.
One of the things that stand out to me as far as the timing of everything of you coming in is that you're jumping feet first into a personnel group and a team that was kind of already in progress. You didn't really have a lot of transition time compared to some people that get hired right in after a season's finish. You had to get or hit the ground running, per se, and no pun intended there, to get ready for this upcoming cross-country season.
Yes. And I feel that's kind of like the sport that I coach. You know, everything in track and field and cross country is fast-paced. So with the timing of it, it's going to keep me on my toes, making sure that we get everything done. But it keeps the energy, it keeps the excitement, because it's that what next feeling. And so being that we're diving right in, and then the transition over to Adidas, so just making sure that we get everything. And then the athletes are excited because they want to get to know me, but in the same instance, we're in practice time. So it keeps you excited because it's that 2-for-1. You get to meet your coach, but you're right there in the mix of practice time as well. So it's a good feeling.
Walk me through those first few weeks on the job at William Carey, because I'm sure it was a bit of a whirlwind just trying to get plugged in, again, ahead of a school year already about to begin. So just let us peek through the window, through the curtain here, at what those first few weeks were like.
Yeah, well, definitely not a lot of Mobile talk. I think I only limited to 2. But I mean, everyone was so welcoming. You know, everyone was kind of understanding of the time frame I was in. So everything was kind of prepared. Like, hey, coach, this is what you're going to do. I have this for you. So it was a smoother transition, but obviously it's still kind of getting to know everything that you need. But a lot of the William Carey individuals, they knew about me and they knew the transition. So it was just kind of get in, start making my checklist. And I had already kind of started preparing just because I felt that God was calling me to the school. So in the midst of waiting, I had started preparing some documentation for stuff that'll kind of make it an easier transition. So that helped a lot. But everyone was very helpful. A lot of the coaches were kind of helping me and telling me, hey, this is where you go, this is what you need, these are the sites and everything. So it was not as overwhelming as I would have expected, but I love the community and how welcoming they were.
She is Jonina Brinson. I'm Josh West. And, Coach, welcome again to get to actually talk to you. We were texting earlier today, and in an era where information is so fast-paced, and, you know, if a player is, you know, maybe interested in Carey, or they had a first touch from you for the first time, what are they going to do? They're going to just, you know, ask their phone, who is this? Who's this Coach Brinson? And then they find out you're a 10-time All-American, 2-time national champion, or track athlete of the year, track and field athlete of the year. They read this. They want to know, all right, who is this? Before she's telling me what I'm doing, before I decide what I want to do, what did she do? What does that weight carry with it of what you did as an athlete, and how does that help strike up conversations and build rapport with the athletes that want to work with you as a coach?
Yeah. So to talk about it from my journey, it was just, you know, I chose track and field because I saw that you get a lot of life out of it. What you put in is what you'll get out. So you work on your work ethic. And so from that and just kind of hearing them, I love for the athletes to tell me what their goals are, because then I can kind of share what some of mine were and how I work to get it. So now we have a baseline of plan of how we're going to get you to your accolades. I always tell my athletes, I didn't go through college without any accolades, so you weren't either. So we're about to work to get you some. And so it's just kind of hearing what their goals are and then helping them align with it, because I love for track and field to be life as well. And so that's kind of it, you know. A lot of them get excited about seeing everything, and a few always are like, can we race? And I'm like, okay, but, you know, just making sure that I hear their goals and think about how and what it took for me to get to mine, and just how my coach was impactful in me getting to those goals as well. I love to hear theirs just so we can work towards it.
One of the things that obviously with the success that Carey has had in recent history, it has been the sprints, the relays, even some of the distance. But from a actual field event standpoint, is that going to be a point of emphasis to be able to find points that maybe Carey has not focused in on in recent years as heavily to help build that team resume to chase national championships at the team level?
Yes. I've seen that they've had great success in long jump and triple jump. I have a background in the multis. I do know that this doesn't really compete at conference, but for the national aspect it does. But also a multi is a well-rounded athlete. They can kind of come back in and contribute points in the run and the throws or the jump. So that's another whole can of worms will open up there. So I want to continue the success, but I always want to add to it to keep it growing. So I've kind of studied where the conference is and where Carey we could get a few more points. So I'm definitely looking to tune those up just so we can kind of get ahead, stay ahead.
I know a lot of history in your pedigree can really feed into what you'll bring to William Carey. One interesting note that I found was after you finished your career at Mobile, you moved over to do Bethune-Cookman, and I've just got to ask you, what was it like having to be under your cousin while over there? Did y'all butt heads at all, or was this kind of a nice family reunion?
It was a little bit of button heads because he was like, this is your last year, you're going to go out with a bang. And honestly, I was chatting with Coach Andy at Mobile about it because at first I wanted to stay at Mobile, but Coach is like, you can't say no to this opportunity. And so going into it, I was like, okay, this is my cousin, I'm going to understand it. But then you have a little bit of those, like, okay, this is my cousin, he understands today may be a bad practice. And it was like, no, you are still going to go hard. So it was interesting, but it was well worth it. I definitely learned a lot, and that's kind of where my coaching career took off because I competed that 1 year, and then I grandfathered into coaching, but he was one that I had told him I always wanted to be a head coach. And so he was one that was like, get your journal, write down things that you would like to change, things that you didn't like about what he was doing. And so that kind of helped. But the competition aspect, it was different.
So walk us through, you've had a couple different stops along the way. What eventually drove the decision-making from Eastern Washington down to William Carey in Hattiesburg?
Yeah, so when I first got into coaching, I actually wanted to be a counselor for athletes because I felt that they were the generation that couldn't really articulate what they were feeling. So I wanted to be a counselor for athletes, but then I got the calling to coach. And so from that, it was more so get in. And I always said I wanted to see the world. In coaching, you'll get to see the world because we have meets everywhere. You have meets in the Bahamas. You have meets in Arizona. So all you have to do is make sure your athletes have the marks to get into those. And so I knew that I wanted to be a coach, and it was a little bit harder at that time for females to get in, and it was around COVID as well. So that made it a little bit more harder than the normal. So I took the first job, which was in Iowa, and then within 2 months, that head coach, he was moving on, and I felt that that was the perfect time for me to try and get into it because it was a school where it was building, and the team was young and new. And so from there, I got to see the world, and then I got the call from Eastern Washington, and I thought about career-wise. I was at a D3. I wanted to learn how to offer scholarships, and then that was an opportunity to kind of coach at a different level and see how that is. But ultimately, it was I knew it was time to come back home, and then once I saw this position, I was like, I feel like this is the perfect one to kind of have that full circle moment to go back to a conference that I competed in and I enjoyed and I felt the love and I had success, and I just felt that it was the best way to make your move back south.
Josh, I don't know if you're hearing the same thing that I am in her voice, but it sounds to me like to be a great track and field coach, you have to have a great people's person mentality and a personality, because both her and Coach McKenzie, I think, are both infectious personalities. I just get to talk to them both on the air.
Oh, I totally agree. And, Coach, I got about just 15 seconds left. What were some of the goal settings you mentioned about them individually hitting their marks, team national championship? What were some of the quick things, 30 seconds, of how you're already implementing those things?
Yes, so for one, I'm looking at how we could make sure that we get our recovery in and we work on the mindset, because the one thing that you want to do is be able to trust your body when you step on that runway, when you step on the line. So making sure that we have our recovery, and that since we are changing uniforms and everything, making sure we get our correct sizes in so that we can look good, feel good, because that's one thing, when we're winning, we want to make sure we're smiling and happy in our outfit. But just the whole aspect of making sure that everything is in place, and that when the athletes do have questions, I have the answers so they can be confident in me as their coach, as well as me writing their program, so that they can trust it and be wholeheartedly in it to win it.
That's Coach Jonina Brinson, new head track and field coach for William Carey University. Coach, thanks so much. We look forward to visiting with you down the road, all right?
Yes, thank you for having me.
All right, final segment coming up for you on Crusader Talk. Stay tuned.
Talking everything William Carey University athletics. This is Crusader Talk on SuperTalk Hattiesburg 97.3 and SuperTalkHattiesburg.com.
In Scripture, it says that we're supposed to forgive people 7 times 70. 70 just happens to be how old Coach Steve Knight turned over the past week. So congratulations to Coach Knight on his birthday. Big 7-0.
Go shoot a 70. Not on 9, on 18.
Yes.
Not on 9, 18. not one of my 70s.
Have
Coach,
you
one
seen,
of your 70s.
This is fantastic. I've seen this video before of a guy will be sitting in his golf cart. He's calling up the clubhouse. He say, "What's the course record?" And they'll say, 63 or whatever it might be. And he goes, "Well, I just shot a 61. I can't wait to see how the back 9 goes."
Yeah, that's exactly right. I thought you were going to say that he just stopped at one shy of the course, one under the course record, and just came in 61. He was like through 10 and a half holes or whatever. Just stop early.
Just stopped his rounder.
Yeah, I shot 61.
There's another one I saw where he said, "What's the course record?" And then he goes, "Yeah, I shot a 210." He was going for the high score. What's the high score record?
I think my first ever round was either in the 130s or 150s, the first time you ever play. I mean, you are tired after the first time you play 18 holes in your life.
And then the first time you play 18, walking the entire course, too.
Oh, yep.
Not the best of fun, but hey.
The year was 1997. Tiger Woods had just won the Masters. No. But I did. I was a Tiger product of the all of a sudden we go from the Greg Norman, Tom Kite era into Tiger Woods, and golf just got with the program in the late 90s, and it looked fun, and the rest is history almost 30 years later.
So I want to ask you this. What excites you most about this week coming up?
What excites me most about this week from a Carey Athletics perspective?
Sure. We'll focus there. I mean, we can get to your personal life, too, if you really want to.
No.
We don't have enough time for that.
No, I think I know I want to see the bounce back from volleyball. I want to see them get that bounce back revenge win, if you will, against New College of Florida. I think that they absolutely, they were down 9-3 early first set, called a timeout, won that first set, and then never got the energy back in set 2, 3, and 4. So they're certainly capable of winning that match. From a men's soccer standpoint, where are the goals going to come from consistently? It's not going to be one player that is that third option. It's going to be like a trio of players on any given night. Who's going to be that third option offensively for Coach Barry Farrell's group? I want to see that. And I want to see if, given all the pieces together, how quickly it can gel for the ladies.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot for women's soccer, I think there's a lot of eyeballs on them. And I don't know if they're feeling the pressure necessarily, but I know they want to still compete at a high level and a high standard. And there's a lot of teams that don't care that you got a new coach and a lot of new faces. They just remember how bad you've beat them in previous years.
Oh, yeah.
And so you've got to be ready, and they know they're still going to have a bullseye because they still have a William Carey Crusader crest on their chest.
Yeah. It's going to be a little of time before we finally see William Carey women's soccer at home, but you have plenty of men's matches coming up on that very playing surface because William Carey men get their season started this Thursday at 7:30 in the evening. Meanwhile, the women will start their season same day, but at 11 o'clock down in Shreveport to play LSUS. Also this weekend, if you're in the mood for some Saturday soccer, you can catch it after dark, as it'll be, well, let's say after dark. Maybe you get a little bit of twilight there at 7:30 when things start. But nevertheless, the Crusaders will take on Louisiana Christian, again, 7:30 Saturday night. We'll have that broadcast for you on the Urban Edge Network. But we would love to have you in person because once nightfall comes, weather's going to be much more conducive to a nice match of soccer. The sweat won't be pouring nearly as bad on the sideline where I will be, and probably won't be pouring down on your head either if you're a spectator across the way in the stands. But I tell you, I'm looking forward to just seeing soccer in person again. I got the itch whenever I watched some of the FIFA World Cup and saw the success that the U.S. had through the time they had there. Man, I'm just ready to see a good goal scored. Yeah, just that first one that goes to the net, it's just going to feel like you're right back at home.
And the first one of the year was a bicycle kick goal in the scrimmage.
So we need to have that again against Texas Wesleyan on Thursday, right?
No, this was the first one. This was the first.
I'm saying I want to repeat.
You want to repeat? Yes. No, absolutely. The pieces are there. The pieces are absolutely there. But it's just going to be you're replacing a first team All-American in one of your top three goal scorers that's out with injury. And so when you lose as Santiago Molina, your junior striker, when you lose him, you're going to have, like I said, maybe 2 to 3 other players step up to combined give you that productivity. If that happens, then this Carey team can be really, really good.
I'm looking forward to it. I think you're going to have a lot of potential up that front line to see who could make a big difference for William Carey. We know the history of what some of these teams have been able to do, especially in the midfield. Strikers last year had some bright spots. We'll see how they all gel together and how this team grows. Some people will move position. Some may find their way off the bench and onto the playing surface early. We'll see. Going to be a lot of experimenting, I'm sure, through the first few weeks of the season, but it all kicks off for the men's soccer side on Thursday at 7:30 as the Crusaders take on Texas Wesleyan. We hope you'll join us out there for that. For all the latest and greatest, go to CareyAthletics.com to catch all the things going on in William Carey. Volleyball schedules, soccer schedules, you name it, it's all right there for you. But until next time, for Dalton Stanford, our producer, my co-host Josh West, I'm Caleb Hamill saying until next time, good night, God bless, and go Satyrs.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.